What is up, guys? Welcome to another tier list video. I'm loving making these things, but I will definitely return on camera speaking, okay? This one is going to be about mental models. Yes, mental models, different concepts which have warped my mind and made me overthink for months before I came to a solution that they are useless or they are good. And so we'll start from S tier, which is good stuff, great stuff, life changing stuff, and D tier, meaning time wasters. You just overthink about them, nothing happens. Beginning with opportunity cost. This is a really nice concept, opportunity cost. I'll tell you a modern wisdom quote. I heard it on Modern Wisdom. I don't know who said it, but in life you have to choose your regrets. Think about it for a second. In life you have to choose your regrets. What does that mean? It means that you need to know what you are sacrificing and be okay with it, because you have chosen the sacrifices which you are making for the one thing that you want to achieve. Here, this dude wants to achieve option B, but he knows option A and C are also there. And he also knows that he's sacrificing them for option B. Option A and C are the opportunity costs if you want to achieve option B. It's the cost that you're willing to give up to get the thing that you want to achieve, anyways. Okay? And sometimes you want all the three options. Sometimes you want to be a social person, you want to be a rich businessman, and you want to be fit. Okay? But the thing is, for the time being, you can't achieve all these three things together. You have to sacrifice one for the other. And so for me right now, my opportunity cost is sacrificing my social life. Maybe sacrificing my health sometimes. Why? Because I want to set up this business. Because I want to set up this YouTube channel. Right? This is my opportunity cost. I know my opportunity cost is my social life. I know that my opportunity cost is my health and fitness. And I'm okay with it. I've chosen those regrets to have. And so this is opportunity cost. This is really life changing. In fact, let's put it in S tier. This is so important to me. But a lot of people like treat it in economic terms, and so they find it really boring. So A tier. But forget it. Like it's personal opinions. I absolutely love this concept. S tier. Next, we have the region beta paradox. A tier. Now, I would love to put it in S tier, but A tier. I'm going to tell you why. So, region beta paradox is a concept where unless you are pushed into a worse situation than what you are currently at, you will not take action in order to better your situation. Okay? So, you are kind of living right now in this comfortable complacency. But you would be better off if your current situation would be worse. Okay, so in modern wisdom, this exact example is used. I'm going to change it a little bit, turn the miles to kilometers. So imagine you have to travel 1 kilometer or more, and you have this personal rule that you've set for yourself that, okay, if I have to go 1 kilometer, I will walk. Anything more than that, I will take the car. But then paradoxically, you will cover the distance of 2 kilometers faster than you covered 1 kilometer. If your condition is worse, which is you have to travel a longer distance, which is cover 2 kilometers, you would be better off and you would achieve your goals faster, because now you're going to take the car. But if your goal is easier, you are in a slightly easier situation, which is currently your current situation maybe, and you are only having to travel 1 kilometer, but based on your rules, you are going to have to walk. So you will achieve that goal much slower, and the path towards that goal is going to be harder because you're walking and not driving the car. I hope you understand this, because this is so important to me. But A tier, because a lot of people perceive this idea to be prescription, and so they intentionally try to make their situations worse in order to search for the activation energy which would motivate them finally to take action. This is basically misinterpretation. This thing does not tell you that you need to make your situation worse in order to take action. This thing just tells you that maybe you are waiting and maybe you have better options, but you just are blinded by the rules which you have set yourself. And maybe if you just search out there, there's better alternatives. You can just go for them. Next, we have Pareto's principle. Controversial take, but B tier. A lot of people parade on Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule, but I don't really like it. Okay? But I don't hate it at the same time. So, this is how I use Pareto's principle, right? If it's something which is my primary goal, for example, this YouTube channel, okay, for certain situations of my life, it could be my fitness. Okay? If it's my primary goal, I will never use the 80-20 rule. Nope. I will not try to find the less amount of tasks which give the highest amount of returns. No, never. Now, does this mean that I do stupid things which don't move the needle at all? No. That is literally stupid. But most of the times, if something is our primary goal and we are passionate about that, we find the things which are most effective and we do them. Anyways, we don't need to look at the 80-20s of the situation. And so if it's my primary goal, I will never use this. But if it's the secondary things, okay, and I need to reduce the time spent on those so that I can spend even more time in pursuing my primary goal, then sure, I will use the 80-20 rule there. I will use the 80-20 rule to happily reduce the time spent on my secondary and tertiary goals. But I will never use the 80-20 rule on my primary goals. Right, we have got feedback loops next. B tier. Okay, A tier. Feedback loops is absolutely amazing if we are talking about training people. Okay, so if you give someone negative feedback loop, they will stop doing the thing entirely. If you give someone positive feedback loops, they will keep jamming the button again and again and again. What did I mean by this? Okay, so if someone is being rude to you and you don't like it, you can let them know if things are getting out of hand, but most of the times you can just ignore them. You don't need to give them any feedback. Because if you give them a negative feedback, then they're going to stop talking to you completely, which is probably not good in the situation. Let's assume that. But if throughout the day they give you compliments or they talk in a way that you like or you want them to talk, then you positively reinforce them. Then you tell them that, okay, that was nice, thank you for that comment. And so now they are going to repeat that, jam that button again and again and again. Feedback loops is absolutely important if you want to, control some of the dynamic in your office, control some of the dynamic in your friends groups. Okay, and this will make you do aura farming. Weirdly, this will make you do aura farming, because if you crash out, you lose aura, right? But if you maintain your composure, ignore most of the wrong things and acknowledge the correct things, then you aura farm. Then you don't lose any aura. It's very simple. Let's move on to the next one, butterfly effect. B tier. This is overhyped. A lot of people just cry about butterfly effect being so good and so amazing, but I don't think it's that good. Butterfly effect is just a failed attempt at searching for the 5% task which generate 99% of the results. You know what I mean? It's just an over exaggerated version of the 80-20 rule. It's just that you are trying to achieve this massive goal in one go, and butterfly effect just helps people cope. Butterfly effect just helps people just cope with the grind. What if the next video builds everything up for you? But at the same time, this also gives people a lot of false hopes, because, well, you can't expect your next video to build everything up for you, and so you need to prepare for the worst as well. And so this is a mixed sort of opinion. Like, this could make you feel good, this could make you feel bad, and so B tier. Oh, by the way, butterfly effect is the idea that you do something small and something massive happens as a result of it. So I make the next video and I blow up because of it, make millions of subscribers, right? That would be butterfly effect. But again, I can't rely on that. Next, we have loss aversion, D tier. It's not that much of a life-changing thing, okay? Loss aversion is something which we all know that all humans are hardwired to do. Okay? You don't want to lose the things that you already have. If you are sitting in the bus and you see a better seat, but what if you stand up and then that better seat is taken by someone else, and then you turn around and then your current seat is taken by someone else as well, and so now you have to stand, okay? You don't want to lose things, and this is like common knowledge, common sense, and so I will put it in D tier. Next, we have got regression to the mean, S tier. Absolute S tier knowledge. I will tell you this. Regression to the mean is something which most people don't realize, and so they overwork themselves to death, and this basically ruins their career. What does this mean? After a high, okay, you will return to baseline. Okay, this is just like dopamine. And so, for example, you make a video and then you get millions of views on it. But after that, acceleration will drop, and after that consistently you are going to get what, like 100,000 views on per, like on each video. You will not get the million view video again for a long time. You have just regressed to the mean. You have regressed to the average viewership of your channel. And this happens all the time everywhere. And this is why a lot of people lose success, because they get one hit and then after that they try to get another hit and another hit, which is never possible. And so they either overwork themselves to the death of their company, or they just quit altogether. This is a weird sort of a strategy, but the way I see it is, if one of my videos gets 150 views, I instantly tell myself that this will regress to the mean. The next video will not get as many views, the next video will get even less views, and this helps me cope with the grind. Next, we have got compounding. 8 year. Compounding is really important. Okay, it helps you realize that small actions done over a long time will get you results, will compound eventually. And this is much better than the butterfly effect, because butterfly effect just throws time out of the context. Butterfly effect just literally tells you that one action, massive results. But compounding effect tells you that you will have to grind for a long time in order to see compounded results, but once you make it, you will get massive results. Okay, so the goal will come at you slower than you can imagine. Okay, and then once it comes, it's going to lift you up faster than you can imagine. Right? This is basically the essence of compounding. Next, we have anti-fragility. It's very important, but see it here because it's common knowledge. Anti-fragility is basically you becoming stronger in the face of adversities. You don't break, you don't become fragile in face of adversities, and you emerge out of it even stronger if possible. That is basically anti-fragility. See it here because it's simple, common sense, common knowledge. Let's move on to the next one. This is first principles thinking. 8 year. First principles thinking is basically you looking at a complex problem, complex situation in your life, and then breaking it down, asking yourself questions after questions after questions. Usually the question is why or what. Okay, and you regress to this very core issue in your life. Okay, so for example, a lot of therapists do this, and they will take a pattern in your life, and then they will try to regress back and back and back, further and further deep into your life, and then they will figure out that, okay, so maybe you are an introvert because when you were 2 years old your mom scolded you. This kind of is close to first principles thinking. And so this is kind of important, but it's not S tier. A lot of people use it as coping. A lot of people blame their parents, a lot of people blame their past, a lot of people blame their conditioning and so on and so forth. I don't think it's a very good. In fact, you know what? Let me demote it to B tier. I think I get the ick from it. Okay, that is it. Like first principles thinking in most of the cases is absolutely amazing because it helps you solve a lot of problems. But in the therapy world, first principles thinking is absolutely ruining everyone and making everyone overthink and not work hard when they should. Next, we have confirmation bias. 8 year. If you are searching for something, your brain biases all information to be related to the thing that you are searching for. Okay, so a classic example would be that smiley face serial killings. I don't know if you know this, but there is a theory in I don't know which country or which area, but basically serial killings took place, and it was separate incidents, but a lot of people were trying to turn it into a serial killing by spotting a common path. Okay, not the method of death, not the circumstances of death, not the profile of the victim, but what they said was, okay, there's a smiley face drawn around the crime scene, and not on the crime scene but around the crime scene. Okay, and so they related it that, okay, maybe the serial killer just did his job and then drew a smiley face as an identity that, okay, I'm the serial killer, right? Serial killers do this. And it's confirmation bias in action. You are just trying to prove your point. You are trying to show the world that you have a theory on this. And now whatever thing that you will see around you, it will always seem to be proof that your point your theory is correct. And so once you are aware of this confirmation bias thing, that you want to confirm your theories, and so your brain will bias you towards information which only confirm the theories. Once you're aware of this, you will be able to manually search for things that break your theory. And this makes your theory more robust. This makes your words more robust, your ideas a lot more robust. Which is basically what we at the end of the day want. Okay, we don't want our arguments to be destroyed with one sentence from the opponent's side. We want it to be as robust as possible. And so if you want to make things robust, we need to be aware of this confirmation bias.